Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Kuat NV 2.0 on our 2021 Ford Ranger. Now the Kuat NV is definitely one of the top of the line platform racks out there, and that's for a reason. It's got a lot of great features, it looks really nice, and it's extremely easy to use. So let's go ahead and start breaking it down for ourselves. As you can see, it is a tire hold format here, so if you're looking a way of transporting your carbon frame bikes, this is going to be an excellent option, as we don't have any frame contact, so we won't be warping those carbon frames, won't be deteriorating them, so we actually are going to be able to transport them with no problem at all. With that as well, since we have a tire hold system, we are going to get those women bikes, step-through bikes, and even those kiddo bikes with no issue at all. A lot of the times, you actually need like a bike adapter bar to get these to work on those frame clamp systems. However, today, as you can see, we're going to have no need for those at all. And with a 60-pound capacity rating per bike, we are going to get some of our bigger, heavier, beefier bikes up on here with no problem at all. That even includes those big e-bikes. Yes, you can even take off those battery packs though to really reduce that weight, hopefully make for a clean system. And as we can see, can take the strain off of our bike rack. Those batteries can be hazardous not only to our frames, but also to our rack and our vehicle. So let's make sure we're storing those away. Taking a look at the platform itself though, you can see here that we do have this ratcheting arm system. We'll go ahead and get that guy out of the way. And the platform itself is a nice gunmetal gray. It is made of aluminum with a nice powder coat finish, so we know it's going to be very rust resistant, and as long as we're treating it right, it's going to treat our bikes right. Taking a look at these cradles though, you can see they are adjustable, so this is also a very versatile system. You can see we can actually change this up. If we had a little kiddo bike, then you can go ahead and bring that in. And if we have a very long bike, we can go ahead and stick that towards the end. And the plastic strip here, very, very easy to use. It's got a little bit of a nice soft rubber on the inside just to hopefully prevent any damage to our wheel rims as we go. And this lever system, very easy to use. I like the little plastic housing on the outside, making sure that this won't get bumped by anything other than us when we actually go to release it. So I do like that little consideration that they've added on. And at the end of each platform too, you can see that there is an integrated cable lock. So I like where these are located. It's always nice to just have them on the ends. We're already putting our bike there. It's going to be real quick that once we get this strap down, we can take out that cable lock, throw it through itself, and get it locked. And they all will be keyed alike, not only each of our platforms, but also our hitch lock on the back end of our receiver. So great little way to make sure that we have a lot of added security to our system. Moving our way down here, you can see, yes, that gunmetal gray going throughout the entire thing. We also have this nice copper finish on the inside. Looks real clean as always. And this front wheel holder has a bit of a nice little feature. You can see those internal grooves there, that big one in the middle, doing a good job for those standard bikes as we get in there. Widening out for our mountain bikes and even those bigger e-bikes on the sides, as you can see. Now it does have an included adapter for one fatback tire. I'm sure we can pick up a second one if we needed. So we do actually have a way of changing out that strip to accommodate for some of those bigger tires. Especially with that 60-pound weight capacity, we for sure want to utilize it to its full maximum potential. Taking a look at the ratcheting arm system here, I really like how silent this system is. You can see that there's no clanging going on as we move around. And on this arm too, you can see again that copper finish coming in quite nicely. At the top here, all we have to do is actually push this down on our tires. We're not going to have any issue with this popping up. As you can see, doing a good job of holding my arm in there unless we press in this button, which is extremely easy to use. We also have a nice little ergonomic grip there to help us cinch that down on our tire. And again, as we mentioned, real easy to just walk this guy in and collapse him down. And another nice thing I like about it, it has a pretty good natural resistance. So when we actually do get this set, it won't be popping up on its own unless we want to go and move it, in which case it'll work quite nicely for us. Well, a great thing with this guy as well is it does have a tilt-away feature that we can still utilize when we have 60 pounds on each of our platform racks here, as you can see. So all we have to do, walk up to this little gray lever right here, pull that guy down like so, and go ahead and tilting our mass down. Now here's where I'd recommend, if you are getting two 60-pound bikes on there, to be really ready for that load as it's going to come down on you. Make sure that we are watching it and make sure we're getting a nice stable platform. Let's go ahead and see how well we can actually get this bike down. As you can see, getting this out of the way, we are going to make contact with the bottom of our rack. However, we can actually gently set this down. Maybe now I can go ahead, I can slide my cooler here. We will make sure we're not putting any weight on this tailgate as we are utilizing our rack, but we still get just a little bit of maneuverability to actually get in our bed and maybe get some of those heavier items taking that weight ourselves and not having to get over this wall. I'd still really recommend being very careful with this, as we are getting metal on metal contact. We want to make sure that we're not damaging our tailgate or our rack. But it's still just a little bit of versatility to actually allow us to utilize this rack. And to walk it up, all we want to do is just gently walk our mast up into position. It's going to snap in place, and I know it's nice and secure. No pins and clips to have to worry about, so I really like kind of how hands-free that is. I'm not messing around with it, wondering where I put those clips, having to line them up. I just walk it right up, and it's ready to go. Well, let's go ahead and take off the bike, see how easy that is to do. On the back end, as we mentioned, we just have these plastic strips. We just want to push in that gray lever again. That housing doing a good job of making sure we're the only ones that can make that imprint. Go ahead and get that strip set to the side. And then when we get our final hold off, we make sure we have a pretty firm, solid grip on our bike. We don't want it tilting into the vehicle or ourselves causing any damage. We just want to walk right up. Again, that ergonomic grip, folding in quite nicely. Our thumb can just press up on that button, lowering or raising that arm out of the way, pushing it to the side. And now here too, if you really had to, this is the only thing that kind of stinks. We do have this bike repair stand that is going to be great for later when we need it. Kind of gets a little bit hard here to kind of get your weight over. However, you can get a nice stable platform, especially with those heavier bikes, getting underneath our bike here and lifting straight out. And we are ready to go. And putting on is just as easy. We just simply walk it up. I think your biggest issue is going to be this strip right here, but all you have to do, kind of get that back wheel to kind of catch it, put itself on there, and get our front tire hold going. We'll have no issue at all. And again, we can collapse this down quite easily. All we have to do is throw that in. And you can look at how compact this thing really gets, especially when we start bringing those arms in. It looks really sleek on it here at all as well. Now, with any hitch-mounted accessory, we are going to add a little bit of length to our vehicle, and already being in the Ranger, we are adding a little bit already to an extended bed as well, as you can see. So let's go ahead and see how much we are actually adding on. So from the rear of our bumper here to the back portion of our repair stand, looks like we are right at 35¼ inches. So definitely a little bit of length added, but however, we are getting a nice stable platform for two bikes, especially at a 60-pound capacity rating. So definitely not something to scoff at, but we actually have a trick to actually go ahead and condense that down and gain a little bit more maneuverability back. On that inside here, again, that lever coming in clutch. Once again, all we have to do, pull him in again, and then just simply walk him up instead of down. Again, gonna click in place. Look at that. Little to no play at all. Maybe it's just a little jostling here, but you can imagine too, as it's going down the road, really nothing can be too much on it as well. I really like how much that gets condensed. There's no pins and clips to worry about. As we mentioned, it just walks right up. So let's go ahead and take a look at how much we actually shaved down on that length to the back here. So from our bumper to our longest point, which is going to be our anti-rattle knob here, we are actually at 17½ inches. So already about half of that distance shaved down. Hopefully now we can get this in the garage, but especially in those tight parking places, it's going to make this way more maneuverable. Now we can not have to worry about our sides and we get nicely parked out of the way. Now with hitch-mounted accessories too, another important dimension to keep in mind is our clearance. As those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will our accessories that are extended from those wheels as well. So in the put-away function, our lowest point is going to be our anti-rattle knob here. Let's go ahead and take a look. And at 21 inches to the ground, I definitely don't think we're going to have too many issues. However, if you have a very steep driveway or you're doing some off-roading, I definitely keep it in the back of your mind. And when we actually have our bike set up on our rack here, it looks like our farthest point is going to be our bike repair stand on the end here. So we'll go ahead and take a quick little measurement there. And at 30 1/4, almost a half, so maybe 30 3/8, definitely going to be way up out of the way. You can see innately we are getting a nice rise in our inner assembly there, and with just a slight curve up as we go up, it's going to make sure we are getting ample clearance. As we mentioned though, if you're doing anything really, really crazy, maybe there's a boulder that you go over, definitely be something that you have in the back of your mind. Moving our way down the shank here, we can see that we do have a 2-inch receiver. And as in the end here too, that goes to our 2-inch hitch. Now today we've also gone ahead and thrown on the etrailer hitch pin alignment collar. Now this guy's great, especially if you find yourself taking this on and off a lot. I'm sorry guys, but as you can see, what it's going to do is basically we're going to get this set once, we're going to find our pin alignment in the back here, and now that every time we put this on, we can just walk it off, put it right back in, and that hitch pin is going to be aligned perfectly. That means we're spending a lot less time on our hands and our knees trying to find that alignment, messing with this, especially, you know, with 50 pounds, it starts becoming really hard to find that right amount. You know what we're talking about. So all we have to do is get that set like that, and those Saturday mornings become way less of a headache as we get ready to go. On the back here too, you can see we just have a simple pin and locking core, which is actually going to hold our rack to our vehicle. That locking core will be key-to-like to those integrated cable locks on our platform as well. So always great from Kuat giving us that. If you're like me too, and you're really forgetful, getting those a bit extra keys is going to go a long way if you're anything like me. At the back end here too, we can get this tilted up so you guys can see it a little better. We actually do have our anti-rattle device. Now, a lot of times you see those threaded anti-rattle hitch bolts, and those definitely work well across the industry. However, they have a few disadvantages. They can cross-thread, and it is more, time to get down on here. You're going to be in the mud as well to tighten that up, make sure we're nice and tight as we're going. So this way, we can actually stand up and actually tighten that cam on the inside. Now, this is tightening a cam inside a receiver up against our hitch, bringing it all into one system. So if I give this guy a shake, you can see shaking the entire vehicle. That's bringing it all in line. That means we're going to be feeling it less as we go down the road. It's taking the play out of the rack, which is going to be really good for our bikes as we get on the road, having a lot less hustle and jostle on them. It's going to be really good in the long run. And on the end here too, you can see that we do have an Allen wrench little portion for it. Now this is going to be really good, especially if you're going on those long road trips. We want to make sure we're nice and secure, especially we're not stopping for a lot of miles in between, right? So we can go ahead, throw our wrench in there, and make sure we're just getting that extra little bit of tightening. That way we're not having any issues as we go down the road. At the top here too, as we mentioned before, we do have a bike repair stand. Now this is what kind of really sets it apart from a lot of the other racks in the industry. All we have to do, open up that lever, turn this guy to the side, and with a quick little turns of the knob, we can actually release this guy to actually give us a nice stable platform to throw our bikes into, and now we can do any repairs that we need to at the trailhead. I'm not worried about bringing it home, or if it's muddy too, I can maybe give it a quick little rinse, kind of give a quick look over my bike. Really nice that we just have that little extra that can go a long way on this rack. And again, it's just little things like that that really start setting this guy apart from everybody, so I really like to see that. And to collapse it down is extremely easy. You just walk it in, make sure our lever's set, and we're good to go. Another great thing about this lever, as you guys can see, it's pretty appropriately just set right here. Maybe I had my bike in one hand, and if you're like us, you don't have a bike stand, real easy to actually hold that bike, bring up a foot, and bring that back down, and we're ready to start loading up our bike. So I really do like that versatility and that ease of use that we get from this entire system. Well, I think the NV really speaks for itself. It's extremely stylish, and it exceptionally does its job at everything it wants to do. It's going to move everything in a nice position, not going to have too much trouble at all with it. And again, always nice to have that anti-rattle device. We're not getting on our hands and our knees too much. It just makes our whole trip that much better. Well, I think that about does it for our look at the Kuat NV 2.0 on our 2021 Ford Ranger. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
First, we'll take it onto our slalom course. This will show you the side-to-side action, such as making turns or evasive maneuvers. Now we're at the alternating speed bumps. This will show you how it looks driving on uneven pavement or potholes. Finally, we're at the solid speed bumps, which simulates going into your driveway or parking lots.